All right. So, you've been sending over some stuff about this AI podcast at digitVIEW.
Right.
And it seems like you're really looking to get like a good grasp on it without getting too, in the weeds of it all.
Yeah.
And from what you've sent me, it's clear this is not your typical, like dissecting the latest iPhone or some kind of, new tech gadget or something like that.
Yeah. And what really jumped out, I think, is their kind of unique take. Because instead of focusing on the, technical details, the code, the algorithms, all that, they're using AI to explore some pretty, fundamental human questions.
Exactly. That's what's so interesting about it. I think this whole unconventional, kind of approach, they're not asking AI like how to write better ad copy or, something like that. They're using it as like a tool, almost like a thinking partner, in what seems to be a pretty deep dive into this like existential territory.
Definitely.
So our goal here is to, really unpack the core concepts behind this AI podcast at digitVIEW.
Okay.
Figure out, what makes it tick and why it might offer a valuable perspective, for you.
Yeah, so why don't you start by exploring their core concept and mission?
Okay.
At the heart of it all, they talk about this idea of existential inquiry.
Okay.
Those big open-ended questions you might find yourself thinking about late at night, like, why are we here? What's our purpose? Good and evil, right and wrong.
Yeah.
What's real? What's not?
I mean, these are the kind of questions that philosophers, have been struggling with forever.
Exactly, for centuries.
Right. And what I think is interesting, and maybe this will resonate with you, is that they're not presenting themselves as having, like, all the answers.
Oh, interesting.
It's more about, like, stimulating thought, prompting you to think critically.
Right.
Which I think we both agree is so important.
Definitely.
It's more about the journey of, like, questioning, not necessarily reaching a specific destination.
I see.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And the way they facilitate that whole questioning thing is through this idea of AI as an oracle.
Oh, wow.
Now, that might conjure up some interesting visuals, ha, ha,
yeah.
ha, ha, ha. But it's important to understand this is more of a metaphor,
Okay.
They're not saying that AI is like, all-knowing or has ultimate truth or anything like that.
Right.
It's more about using AI as this new source to ask these profound questions, to,
Interesting.
Almost like seeking a response from a completely different kind of intelligence.
It's almost like you're trying to get a different angle.
Exactly.
On things that maybe you've been thinking about in a certain way for so long.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're trying to grasp, like, their methodology, it's less about the AI giving you, like, the answer and more about its response acting as, like, a catalyst.
A spark.
Yeah, like to, like, shake up your thinking.
Yeah, get you out of your comfort zone intellectually.
Exactly. And if we zoom out a bit, their mission goes beyond just, like, philosophical exploration.
Right.
They're very clear about this goal of societal improvement.
Wow, so they're a nonprofit.
Yeah, they are. And they're really driven by this desire to make, like, a real positive impact,
That's ambitious.
It is. It's a huge goal. So how do they think they're going to, tackle something like societal improvement?
Okay. So
just through these philosophical discussions with AI?
their thinking seems to be that by encouraging critical thinking skills in people and promoting this, real rigorous search for truth, at a very basic level, you can indirectly then address much bigger societal problems.
Oh, I see.
Like production, like ignorance.
Like if people are thinking more critically, they're less likely to be, taken advantage of or fall for,
Yeah, or perpetuate those systems.
Exactly, yeah. And they're better equipped to deal with, like, the complexities of the world today.
And make better decisions.
And make more ethical decisions. I like that.
Yeah.
Now, you always like to understand who's behind these projects and who they're targeting.
Right, of course.
Right. So who is this podcast, specifically trying to reach?
So while their tilga is broad, anyone interested in these sorts of questions, they seem to be really focused on younger generation.
Oh, interesting.
I think they understand the challenges that, young people face these days.
Totally. Especially with, like, the amount of information and misinformation they're bombarded with.
Right. It's overwhelming.
Yeah, it's almost like they're providing the like, philosophical compass to help them navigate all that.
I like that.
So let's get into the how they actually do this. Like, what does a typical episode look like?
Sure. So the core of their method is what they call AI interviews.
Okay.
They come up with these, philosophical, ethical, and societal questions, and they present them directly to various AI models.
Okay.
And this is crucial. They don't see the AI's answer as the definitive answer.
Right.
They use the responses as a starting point for discussion and analysis and reflection.
So it's not like, the AI is suddenly going to reveal the meaning of life in, ones and zeros.
Haha, right, exactly.
But the responses might offer a different perspective, like maybe highlight some assumptions we didn't even know we had.
Exactly, and the range of topics they tackle is really broad.
Okay.
They want to include things that will connect with a lot of different people, different genders, ages, cultural backgrounds.
Oh, wow.
They even go into the history of human thought on these topics.
So they've really done their research.
They have.
That's great, especially for someone like you who, you like to get that well-rounded view.
I do.
And it seems like they're trying to make content that's relevant to a wide range of people.
Right. And underlying it all, they really emphasize critical thinking. They want their listeners to question everything, even the AI responses.
I like that.
And not just passively take in what they hear.
Right.
They want to inspire people to seek out their own answers and come to their own conclusions.
That's so important. Not just being spoon-fed information, but actually thinking for yourself.
It is.
And it's worth noting, this podcast is free.
It is.
Which really reinforces their commitment to having a broad impact.
Yeah, no barriers to entry.
Exactly.
So if we think about the potential impact and significance of all this, it really stands out as a very new way of doing philosophy.
Okay.
We often talk about AI in terms of its practical uses, automation, data analysis, things like that. But they're using it as this catalyst for, engaging with these really fundamental questions.
Right. It's really innovative. It makes you think about the potential of these technology beyond just, their functionality. It's almost like they're saying, hey, look, this powerful tool can also help us, understand ourselves and our place in the universe a little bit better.
Exactly. And that ties into the societal relevance, by engaging with big issues like corruption, ignorance.
Yeah.
Not by offering easy answers, but by fostering a culture of questioning.
Right.
They hope to contribute to a future that's shaped by knowledge and ethical considerations.
It's not just about, being intellectually curious for the sake of it.
No.
It's the hope that this will lead to real-world positive change.
That's the idea.
I like that.
And there's also this element of inspiration,
Okay.
The podcast aims to encourage listeners to actually do something, to feel like they have the power to shape the world around them.
It's like moving beyond just learning and actually, feeling empowered to make a difference.
Exactly. We all have a part to play in making a better future.
Right.
And engaging with these fundamental questions is a crucial first step.
It's like taking responsibility.
It is.
So to sum it all up, the AI podcast at digitVIEW seems like a really thought-provoking experiment.
It is a unique blend of, cutting-edge AI with these timeless philosophical questions.
It's almost like they took two completely separate things and found this really interesting intersection.
Yeah.
It's not just about AI, it's not just about philosophy, it's this synergy between the two.
Right.
And it seems like the core themes are, using AI to understand human interactions better. And through that, to build a better society.
Exactly. Using technology to let it understand ourselves and how we can thrive together.
So if you've been looking for a way to, engage with these big questions without having to read, tons of academic papers, and you're open to a different kind of approach.
Right.
This AI podcast at digitVIEW might be just what you're looking for.
Yeah. It's a chance to really stretch your mind.
Exactly. And maybe, gain a new perspective on one of life's big mysteries.
And that leads us to a subtle thought for you to consider.
Okay.
They're using a tool like AI, which we think of as very technical, for this deep philosophical and societal exploration. So what other tools that we use every day could be repurposed in unexpected ways for profound inquiry?
Wow.
It makes you wonder what we might discover.
Yeah.
If we look at things with fresh eyes, with that spirit of inquiry and curiosity.
That's a great point. Something to think about.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining me today.
It was my pleasure.
And as always, keep those questions coming.
I will.
Until next time.
Bye.
This is DigitView.